comfortable. You don't have to do anything. Just be present with us for the next hour and enjoy this beautiful tribe of people coming from all around the world. Hello, Philippines. We are going to ask you a question before we start, just to know how familiar are you with points of view, and just to get an idea. So, Marek, maybe you can share our poll. How familiar are you with points of view? Just write it down. Nice.
We have 63%, so maybe someone will vote in.
Okay, and we still have people joining in. So we have some newbies, and we have some that only have the tools, and some with the points of view training. Great. So for those of you who are already know points of view, are a part of the tribe, thank you again for this amazing journey that we are doing together and for coming today. And for those of you who are newbies, welcome. And you might heard about us. Maybe you saw a post on social or you heard from a friend. And today I'm going to share with you what's so special about points of view. But before anything else, it's this beautiful tribe that comes from all around the world. Diversity in action. This is what makes the magic of points of view. And I'm going to tell you all about it today. And today, actually, it's a special day, not only because it's the beginning of the year, and it's a special day, I think, for dear Marekush, our head of development and training, that today have a birthday. And can I tell you, how old are you, Marek? He's starting his 40s today. He's starting his decade together with us. So I think we are privileged and we are happy for it. And we love you, Marek, and wish you an amazing, amazing decade and continue spreading the love and the magic around the world with us. Okay. So I don't know how is your day. Maybe you're just in the beginning of your day, in the middle of your day, whatever. I hope that the meeting with me and with us here will allow you to take a time out. And for the next hour, even less, just to wander to new places. You don't have to do anything. I don't care if you will listen, not listen, if you take something or not. If you will be able to slow down in the next less hour and just, breathe and connect to yourself, regardless what's going to be here, wow, it's a big deal. So really let yourself enjoy this time out of your day. Or if it's the beginning of your day, it's a good timing, just to put your intention. So I'm going to share my screen and I'll tell you what we are going to do here. So today, the session, it's all about how we can help clients to find their inner voice through visuals and metaphors and the power of photos and metaphors. And of course, I'm going to share with you how we do it in points of view. And I'm challenging myself not to do the regular presentation I'm doing. I hope I will be able to make it, but to do it differently and to hear more about your experiences and questions. So I will talk a little bit. I will then would love to hear some of your thoughts, and then we'll share with you more. I'm Yaron Golan, by the way, founder and of Points of View, coming from background of psychology and business management, business coaching. I'm a father, married to Einat, have small boys, and this is in general. In Points of View, I'm a big part of the development and creation and the training that we are doing. I'm lucky in the last year plus I let go of the management part and I'm now enjoying more the creative parts. I love it. And Points of View, for those of you who are not familiar, in Points of View, we are empowering growth through experiential learning. We are actually, our specialty is that we know how to activate both sides of the brain. The left part, which is the more logic and didactic and mission-oriented and practical and results and performance. So this is one of the parts that we are good at, but not less than that, we are good at activating the right brain, which is more about the creativity. It's more about imaginations, feelings, really to be able to see the big picture, to have a sense of purpose and sense of belonging. So this is what we do in the points of view in general. We are activating both sides of the brains, helping individuals, professionals, and managers all around the world how to really bring a complete set of possibilities by using both skills, both parts, and we're doing it with individuals and with organizations. As you can see, some of the names over here. And so this is in general. I'll just say one more thing about points of view. In points of view, again, we have variety of tools, physical tools and digital tools that are based on photos and metaphors. And photos and metaphors, in a way, they are the language of the 21st century. The funny part that it's not the language of the 21st century, it's the language for thousands of centuries before we even know. You know, if you go thousands and thousands of years ago to the cavemen, and you enter the cave and you will see visual stories of icon, emojis, metaphors that are telling their stories thousands and thousands of years ago. So this is a very powerful tool, and I will talk a little bit about today how we can learn so much just by observing a photo, an image. We get so much information, so many sensations and feelings, and as professionals, it can really help us to go deep and to do amazing work. So we have a set of tools, digital and physical, and we have different kind of training programs that we are providing to organizations and managers, and we have certification programs where we are teaching professionals all around the world how to become experts and masters in using our tools. So I will tell you more a little bit when we move forward. So have you ever worked with someone who struggled to articulate their thoughts or emotion? Most likely you did. And I do want to ask you a question, and would love also to hear you. First of all, if you had this challenge or struggle, and also if you can share with us, what do you think sometimes, what do you do in this kind of situation when you face it? How do you respond to it? How do you react? And what you are actually doing, if you can share. So if anybody wants to unmute yourself and share with us a little bit about your point of view about this challenge, will be great to hear you. And you don't have to raise your hand. You can just unmute yourself. And by the way, I told you, I want to do something different today. This is a part of what I want to do different. I would love to hear you more than just writing in the chat. So if somebody can just take the challenge, that will be great.
So one of the things that can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. One of the things I do when someone's struggling to articulate their thoughts, I think, and I work with, I'm a creativity coach and facilitator. And so especially working with creatives who are getting stuck, I let them think about when they see a blank piece of paper, and think about that as somebody that they're meeting new for the first time, and what are they going to say to that person? So it's sort of like that, you know, as they start to add lines, images, or collage, the conversation gets started with that new person. So that's one way of that I've worked with people.
Thank you, Gerard, first of all, for being brave and taking the stage. And I just want to ask you one more question. What is your automatic trigger or response when it happens? How do you feel about it when you are working with someone and they are now don't really know how to explain what they are going through? They don't really understand what you're asking. What is your automatic response to that?
I think my automatic response isn't necessarily providing an answer right away. It's allowing that individual to think about, you know, the questions that they're asking, and sit with that for a while.
Amazing.
And sometimes the answers are hidden in that question they're asking. So, yeah.
Thank you, Gerard. Thank you for sharing. Yes, anybody else wants to share from your open point of view, your experience? I will even add a question to that. What do you think maybe is the reason that causes, or some of the reasons, for the partner or the person on the other side not to be able to articulate their feelings, to understand? What do you think might be the cause for it? And again, you don't have to bring it raw. You don't have to know the answers. We are playing. So if you have any thought, bring it on. Don't think too much. How does it sound or what we think?
Okay, I go. So I think that it's a question of culture. We are very familiar with talking logically. So it's more about our thoughts, our ideas, our opinions, rather than the creativity and like, okay, let's try. And I think that school also does, or university doesn't play very well with this idea of feelings and creativity.
Okay, so sometimes you are saying it's because they are not used to playing with those ideas, and we are very structured, so they don't really have even the possibility in their line of possibilities of doing it.
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you, Natalia. Great. Anybody else wants to give a point of view? Any other observation?
Hi, Yuan. It's Deidre, and a lot of times I find that people are afraid of failing or looking stupid or and being vulnerable. So one of my favorite questions to take the pressure off is just to ask, well, if you could guess, and then just leave space.
Thank you, Deidre. First of all, Deidre, it's great to see you.
You
Wow,
too.
you surprised me. And I miss you, and I'm sending you lots of love all the way from
Oh,
Israel. Really good to see you, my dear.
back at you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so first of all, thank you for your answers. And we are going to have more time to hear you later. And it's very interesting. I want to share. First of all, each and every one of us, first of all, react differently when it happens. When the person on the other side is stuck. And we have a variety, of actions that we can make, from trying to save them and trying to help them and trying to come up with different ideas. And then we, as a coach, as therapist, as professional, trying to work hard to help them. Some of us freeze. And when the person on the other side is stuck, then we feel maybe something is wrong with me. I don't know what to do. We have a variety of different ways of dealing with it. And it's important also to learn how we react. And some of you, Gerard, I think the three of you, you were mentioning two things that are very important. One, it's about giving the space for the other person. This is where it starts. When we are working with someone that they are stuck, by the way, sometimes it's easier to deal with someone when it's one-on-one rather than to do it in a group. When we have more participants looking at us and we are as a part of the workshop and someone is stuck, then sometimes it's even more challenging. But the first thing that I received from what you were saying, it's really to give the space to be in this quiet and this unknown, in those moments of feeling stuck. And sometimes without even helping the other person, this is where the magic starts to happen. This is one thing. And also, Natalia, like you said, sometimes when we are stuck, we need another form, another tool, another media to communicate ourselves. Something that sometimes is different than the regular language that we are using. And this is what we are going to talk a little bit about today. It's about to find other ways, not verbal necessarily, that will help me as an individual, first of all, to really bring different parts, my thoughts, my emotions, and to put them on the table. And as a professional also, when I'm doing it with another person, it will help me really to expand their point of view, to get different insights, to work with it, to look at it, and to do some deep work. And this is what this session is all about today. Why visuals and metaphors? Actually, two main reasons. The first one, visual triggers and speaks to our right brain. They speak to our imagination, to our associations, to our intuition. It's like a key to a door that most of the time, in most of the places around the world, to most of us, it's most of the time closed. Because that the dominant parts in each and most of us is the left side, it's the logic, it's the person, the manager inside that is telling us all day long what we need to do, how we do it, if we are good. Or the other parts are less activated, and by working with photos and metaphors and visuals really helps us to activate this part and to take away some filters that most of the time preventing us from looking and seeing different nuances, making new connections. So this is a big part. It's really a tool to bypass the logic and to go to the subconscious. This is one. And two, that visuals and metaphors in many ways helping us to deliver what we mean without talking about it. Sometimes when I have an idea or I have some kind of a mood or something, it's easier for me to talk about it when I'm using a metaphor like a storm or dry or whatever. It's helping me to say so much without saying anything. And when this happens sometimes in a coaching or a therapy context, it has a lot of value. And this is what we are doing with points of view, and a little bit, this is what we are going to touch, how we do it in points of view. And again, if any moment you have some ideas to share with us, that will be great as well. I love this quote. Photography is the story I fail to put into words. And this is exactly it. And this babushka also, that is hidden under so many layers and layers and layers and expectations and beliefs and behaviors. This is exactly what we are trying to reach, this small babushka that is hidden and covered, and we are doing it through the visuals and metaphors. This is a way for us to peel the layers and to do it not in a direct way, not with a struggle. We are doing it sometimes when we are working with points of view and the tools, and the person on the other side doesn't even notice that slowly, slowly they take away their hat and they put the gloves and the scarf. And this is the magic of photos. I wanted to share with you a story. It's a story from, I think, maybe 16 years ago, 17 years ago, when we just started with points of view. Back then, or even 18 years ago, when we just started. When we started, the office was in my home. And, you know, the game started to spread all around Israel. And people sometimes used to call in the middle of the night to leave we had an answering machine back then, for the people who are oldies like me, kind of. So we had an answering machine. People used to leave a message in the night. Wow, you know, they were playing with their family or with their friends or at work, and they wanted to give a feedback. They didn't know it's my home. And at one point, at 10 o'clock in the night or 11 o'clock in the night, the phone rang, and I answered. And the person on the other side, first of all, was shocked because she was expecting an answering machine in this time of the evening. And she was overwhelming, and she was, it sounds like she was crying. And she said, wow, I just wanted to leave a message of something that happened to me right now with the cards. I don't know what to do. I'm still shaking. It's so powerful. And she started to talk with me and to share with me that she's a psychologist. And back then she was something like in her 40s, and she was sharing that her mother is a Holocaust survivor. And she just know that her mother had a family that all been murdered in Poland when in the Holocaust. She doesn't know too much details. Her mother never spoke about her sisters. She just know that they had they were a big family, but her mother never mentioned it. Like everything that happened in the Holocaust was locked for years. And she was also sharing, and she said, I think I went to study psychology only because of that, what I experienced as a kid with all this complication. And no matter what I did with my mother, she was never able to say anything. And at one point I gave up. And she said me, listen, 3 days ago, a friend of mine came to me, and she gave me as a present, as a psychology, the coaching game. And I didn't even open it. I just put it in the kitchen, in the table, in the dining room, and I left it over there, and I forgot about it. And today my mother came to visit us. And as I was cooking in the evening, And I was talking with my mother, and there was a silence, and I was in my own thoughts. And then suddenly, my mother, she said, "Wow, I can't believe, look at her. She looks exactly like my sister." I don't remember the name, but she said the name. And she was, cooking, and she looked back, and her mother was holding this card, a loan card of this girl. I'm talking about it now. I have a goosebump. She was holding this card of this redhead girl. And from that moment, when she was looking back, she's still in shock. Her mother, for the first time, through this photo, started to share with her stories from her childhood when they were together, the sisters and the family, and they sat like for 3 hours. Their mother couldn't stop. And it happened, and the trigger was this photo that called a loan card. And I think this story grasps a lot of what we do in points of view and the photos and metaphors. Two things. One, first of all, and it's important to understand that every photo can trigger us, but from different reasons and from good reasons. It doesn't mean that every photo will trigger us. It depends in a lot of things. In this specific story, from different reasons, that's got nothing to do with points of view. From different reasons, the mother was ready to share from different reasons, and she just needed a trigger, something that will allow her to start the conversation, to connect to it, to bring it to the surface. In many other situations, from different reasons, and it's good, the person on the other side is not ready to touch maybe some of the challenges, of the traumas, of the pain. We are trying to allow them, by using the photos and metaphors, to touch it or to go around it. But again, in the end, they choose. We are knocking on the door. They choose if they are ready or not. So this is a very brief story that gives an example. And before we move on, and before I will share with you some ideas of how we are using our tools in coaching context, therapy, in group, we're talking, instead of just talking, let's experience. So we are going to do a short experience with the points of view digital speak up. We have a beautiful process. We call it my New Year intention. Marek, if you can share your screen maybe and share it with us. Maybe from the moment where you just log in, I can talk another minute so you have the time. Just be ready with the login. In a minute, I'm going to invite you to choose 2 cards, one photo card and one word card that represents looking at the new year that just started, the 2025. With all the possibilities, you're going to choose one photo card and one word card that represents one thing that you are going to say yes to in 2025. And I want to invite you, when you're going over the cards, you will see in a moment how Mark is doing it. Take a moment. I'm going to give you a few minutes because most of us, when we are looking at photos, we don't realize that if we just take a little bit more time looking and observing them, it can really help us to see the triggering that they are doing to us. Most of us, we are looking at photos very shallow, very quick, very brief. We don't understand. Next, next, next. I want you in the next few minutes to pay more attention. Having in mind, what am I going to say yes to in 2025 in my professional life, in my relationship with my wife, with my husband, with my kids, maybe to my dreams. I want you to go over the photos and find one photo that, from different reasons, maybe you will understand and maybe not, really represents what are you going to say yes to. Maybe the colors, maybe the detail, maybe specific, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. I want you to look at the photos one by one and find one photo that say, okay, this represents what am I going to say yes to. And then afterwards, you're going to choose another word card. The word card is going to help you to the left brain. Just give it a title. Find a word that represents what are you going to say yes to. Marek, are you ready? Maybe Marek can share the screen and you will be able to see it. Okay, so you're going to get a link and you will get to this page. You can sign up or join as a guest if you want, whatever is more comfortable for you. If you join as a guest, you just put your name. Okay, and then you will see our carousel spreading. You can click the Let's Play button, and here you have the cards. The carousel can turn around, by the way. You can play with the mouse or whatever. And then just choose one of the photo cards, by the way. Just click on them. They will open up a gallery of photos. And like I said before, you're going to go photo by photo until you will find one photo that represents, from different reasons, whatever it is, what are you going to say yes to in 2025. And then once you are ready, you're going to click the check button, the green one, and you will have it here. And then you're going to choose, if you want to see it again, you can enlarge it, but then you're going to choose the word card. And also in the word card, you can click on them. Yes, Marek, whatever. You go over the word cards and you find one word card again that represents and connects to what you're going to say yes to in 2025. If you want to read, by the way, text, you can see there is a book icon below. You can click on it. Yes, Mike. And here you can find even a story and some quotes and questions about the word. And whenever you are ready, you are going to click the check button next to it and choose it. Do whatever you understand, even if you didn't understand nothing, good, do whatever you understood. Mark is going to share now the link in the WhatsApp, in the chat here. Take 3-4 minutes, and please, having in mind what you really want to say yes to in 2025, find a visual, a metaphor that really represents it. 3-4 minutes, you have the link here. Let's do it, and we come back. Suppose that if you have the physical game, you can choose from your physical cards, whatever. And I'm challenging you not to choose the regular cards that maybe will be your regular, obvious cards. Don't necessarily choose the beautiful cards, the ones that, you know, really showing all these butterflies and a lot. Choose really something that might be unexpected, but can be very precise for you. You can also choose them randomly if you want, by the way. You have a button or whatever. Take another minute. Okay. Before we move forward, does anyone wants to share about your card, about the photo, something that you got, any observation, any thought, any insight? Please unmute yourself. Would love to hear you. Any respond to this process will be great.
Hi, this is Anand here.
Hello.
Hi. So the picture I chose was the air balloon flying in the sky, and the word caption was transformation.
And why did you choose the air balloon? How did it connect to you, to your the thing that you want to say yes to in 2025?
Yeah, actually, I started my new company in 2024, Pinnacle Your Dreams. So in 2025, the main thing was, I want to take it ahead, the company take it ahead to higher levels. So for that, what transformation I should make, I need to work on that area.
Okay.
So
what
that's
is,
how the, yeah.
and what is the air balloon represents to you?
Air balloon represents reaching out to the skies.
Reaching out to the skies.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what does the air balloon needs to be able to fly to the sky?
Okay, for flying to the sky, I need to.
Not you, the air
Uh,
balloon. Before I ask you, I ask first of all, for the balloon, in order to go high, what does it need?
It needs the helium gas.
The helium gas. And what is this helium gas for you?
Okay, the helium gas for me is I have certain gray areas that I need to address, certain vague areas that I need to address to make the balloon fly higher. So
Do you have-
I believe the business trainer certification will help for that.
Okay. And I have a question. If you can change something in the photo of the air balloon, will you change anything? Is there anything that you say, listen, this I will take out, this maybe I would like to add, or anything? Is there anything you will change or edit in the photo of the air balloon as it is now?
Maybe at the end of the year, I'll add my company logo in that.
To edit your logo.
My company logo, I don't know how I can explain
No,
it.
okay, I understand. Again, you don't have to understand. Right now, we are
Yeah,
talking
it has
freestyle.
actually some stars,
Stars.
and the company name is Pinnacle Your Dreams. So it
Okay.
has some stars and some design, so which literally states reaching out to the sky. So that's why the air balloon resonates with me well.
All right. And
Yeah.
what is your word card?
Transformation.
Transformation. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Only one more person maybe can share if you want about your card, what it symbolized to you. Would love to hear you. And if you are thinking, yes, I will say something, I will not, I won't, but I don't know. If you have this thought, please don't think, just unmute and talk, and you will see for yourself.
I'll go again. I'm not sure if you can see that.
Yeah. The doors.
The doors, 2 red doors. And could you just remind me of the question again?
The question is, what is this card that you chose? How does it resonate and symbolize what you want to say yes to in 2025?
Well, and it ties into the card as well. Uncertainty. I tend to try to plan out things too much, and I want to let things kind of unfold and happen in ways that might be a surprise and may even be disruptive. So.
And why this photo? What's in this photo of the doors that are open and the colors of it? How does it resonate and connect to you?
Well, the color, not so much an issue, but it's not knowing what's in those rooms.
Not knowing.
There's that. What am I going to encounter in those spaces through those doors? And that's really
So to come in this mindset of being to be willing to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you are. Okay.
Whether those are good surprises or not. So
you are willing to get it anyway. This is what is your invitation for 2025. Mm-hmm. Great. And is there is any specific detail in the photo that resonates in you? Any specific, the colors, one of the doors, I don't know, even something tiny. Is there anything that really stands out to you?
Well, yeah, I think at some level the color red, but
why?
For me, why?
Yeah, why the color red? What is the color red stand out for you think?
It's almost like maybe it's an obvious thing, but that idea of red for stop, it's like so maybe at some level there's still some of that trepidation that I have as well. So
interesting. First of all, it's point of view, because I swear I had a different association of the red, not completely didn't think about what you said. My own association was red was passion, was juicy, was something, you know, sensual. This is where my association went to.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
Thank you, Gerard. Yeah, you want to say something?
No, good.
What is your title? What is your word that you chose?
The word was uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So again, that was first of all a taste for you to play a little bit with the points of view tools and to choose a photo. And there are so many ways that we can take this activity and to fly with it one-on-one on a group. I'm not going to do it now because it's not the purpose, but it was just to give you a sense of how it looks like. And again, how through a photograph, we can really go deeper into levels that sometimes it will take a long time to get to them in a regular conversation. I'm going to share my screen again, and I would like to give you some ideas of how we are using photos and images and metaphors to start a conversation. So here are a little bit two applications that we can do as coaches or therapists. One of them, when the person on the other side is a little bit stuck, they don't know how to explain, they either don't want to explain or don't know what to explain or how to articulate it. Sometimes when they are open to it, one thing that can really help us to start a conversation and to start and to go deep and to fly is to just invite them to choose a card. Any photo card, we just spread the cards and we invite them to choose any one of the photo cards that really connects or talk to them, or even they hate, whatever. Just by inviting them to start and to play with the cards, something most of the time will happen. And this will allow us to start and inquire and to connect and to talk. So this is sometimes a very simple and easy process. 99% of the time, we'll start a conversation, and a conversation that if you will dig a little bit further, you will find some interesting thoughts and reasons why they chose this specific card, and then you can connect it to the bigger picture. So this is one simple process that is recommended. The second one, it's a different one. You know, sometimes when we are working with someone, we might have a thought or an insight why they are stuck. We might have a thought or an insight of how they are feeling. You know, we are from the outside, especially if we already know them, we can give them and provide them some observations that maybe can help them shift their perspective and their energy. So this activity that I'm going to tell you now, it's exactly about it. Sometimes what it's needed from our side in order to help the other person to get unstuck is to share with them our own point of view. And if we are doing it through giving a regular feedback verbally, it might bring resistance, it might not be relevant, might be appropriate, and we can do it through images. And then in that scenario, what we recommend you is that you, as a coach or as the person on the other side, you can choose one photograph to them, something that you think maybe reflect or resonate or connect in any way that you want to them, and you just choose a photograph and you can share with them why you chose this photograph for them and invite them to react to it, to respond. The whole idea, it's how we can use a photo or an images, first of all, to invite for a conversation. This is the basic. But then if we are looking at the content of the card and we are taking the time to inquire and to ask questions and to make connections and to really dig deeper, this is the moment where suddenly we can go through the carton and see something new. So these are two very simple activities that can be done like that. And if you didn't do it so far, and the next time I'm inviting you to do it, by the way, this is amazing activities to do regardless if the person on the other side is stuck or not. And I would like to give you also two applications to how to do it in an organizational setting. So one of the things sometimes when we are working in team is that there are lots of dynamics that are below the surface that nobody feels comfortable to talk about. And most of the time they will not be spoken. They will be spoken only by acting out, by different kind of tension and other reactions in the group, but not directly. And we learned that to invite group and team to address what they experience or how they perceive their teamwork through the cards, through visual, create amazing opportunity for deep conversations. And this is about it. It's just to invite when we sense that there are issues in the team that are not spoken and that are stacking the whole team for moving forward, and we need to find a way to put them on the surface. So here is a great and very simple process where we are inviting each of the team members to choose one card that represents their team dynamic or how their team dynamic can be improved. By choosing one of the cards and addressing their team dynamic or what they think can help their team dynamic to improve, you are starting a conversation that will allow different voices to come to the surface. And as a professional, it will allow you to create a dialogue and to start creating a way for them to bridge and to connect. And again, simple, not complicated, something that you can do right away. And another one that we love to use, it's to create a collective storytelling. And sometimes, when we are inviting the participants to tell their story through the photos or the visuals, without even explaining why. For example, again, we might invite the whole group. Let's create a group collage of your images here in the middle of the room. Choose any cards that you want. You don't have to explain whatever it is, but we want you to create as a team, even without words, even in silence. By definition, take the next 2-3 minutes, and each one of you will choose one card, put it here in the middle, a card that represents the story of your team in any way that you think. Choose any card, don't have to explain it. Only by inviting the participants to do it, first of all, it's amazing to see their dynamic, how they are choosing the cards, which cards they are choosing, who is the first one, who is the last one. As a professional, you get a load of insights only by observing it. This is one. And two, afterwards, when it's already started to form some kind of a visual, it's going to be much more easier to start and interpret it and to see what is the symbolize of it. And then if you go into the content of the cards that they chose and you will invite them to make the connections, how they think the cards connect and tell the story, you're going to be amazed how this simple activity is going to create unbelievable channel of open communication between the participants. And again, this is a very simple activity. When we are working with points of view, especially in our certification programs, we really teach to the depths of it, different kind of settings, and how to deal also with different content and things that are coming in the room and to deal with it. Any question, any comment before I move forward? Anything you want to ask, even practical question about the ideas that I just shared with you, please just unmute yourself. We'd love to hear you. If you have any other suggestion, by the way, the tip you want to share with everybody, you are welcome also. Leah? Leah, you wanted to say something? Not sure. Okay. Okay, I'm going to continue. And again, if you have any questions, you are feel free to unmute yourself. I want to take it forward. That was a little bit about what we do in Points of View. I want to share with you a little bit more about the work that we are doing here. In Points of View, actually, we have two ways of really learning the depths of what we do. One of them is the Points of View Academy, which is a learning experience, adventure, a learning adventure. It's actually 4 different levels of knowledge that we are teaching. And the real essence of the academy is that, first of all, before you are learning how to pay it forward and how to use it with your own clients, you experience it on yourself. So in our academy, it's really an amazing opportunity for unbelievable breakthroughs in your life. You are coming for our training. You first experience our tools in your career, in your personal life, in anything that you are now struggling, dealing with, any transition that you are in. And then afterwards, we put the professional hat and we teach you how you can use it in different kind of settings, with different kind of participants, one-on-one, online, different kind of scenarios. Some of our trainings are online. And one of the biggest, I think, assets of Points of View is the community. And you get to meet people coming from all around the world, sometimes in the same room or the same face-to-face or digital, from 20 different countries. And this is also, there is a healing experience in that, I have to say. You know, most of the time as professionals, we are a lot alone, dealing with lots of things. And when we meet with other professionals from the other parts of the world, and for training online or for the 5 days, we get to learn and to share. We see that we are all struggling with the same thing, the same issues, the same situation. And there is something really comforting in that, and something that really healing and connecting. This is really like the whole of Mirror in the essence of it. And we are in Points of View, we are working with it a lot. This is a part of how we are doing the work with our participants that are coming from all around the world. So we have the digital and the training online, and we have the face-to-face. For example, the expert certification, it's a 5-day journey. I love to call it like a Disneyland for personal development. Some of you here attended, and you know what I mean. It's 5 magical days, again, in beautiful resorts with people from all around the world. And I don't know how to explain it even, but it's really life-changing many times for most of the participants. In 2025, we are going to have 4 of those. We are going to have in Poland in April that Marek is going to lead. We are going to have in the USA, in San Diego, in the end of June, that I am going to lead. We have in Thailand in October, in September, and we have also in July in Spanish in Peru. So if you have any calling to be a part of our certified facilitators and to come and experience and then be certified to pay it forward, you are welcome to come and learn more. So this is one path of the academy. And the other one, it's something that we are developing a lot. This is our main focus, I have to say, in the Points of View strategy. It's the providing solutions of training and lots of projects to organizations. And this is what we are doing more and more with companies from all around the world. And we are in the process of finding more and more business trainers, coaches, organizational consultants, managers from all around the world who wants to become certified, who wants to bring Points of View solution to organizations. And there are amazing, amazing things that are happening for us, I have to say. I hope to share with you some other time. Big projects that we are doing. And in this specific program, different than the academy, it's very practical, very mission-oriented to really teach you how to bring our tools to organizations. It's a different language rather than the academy. This is more straightforward. So in our business trainer certification, we are sharing with you some exclusive tools that are available only for our business trainers. I will show you some photos in a moment. And we have some training programs that we developed. We are teaching our business trainers loads of content, of activities, of dynamics, of solutions that they can really take and plug and play and use it locally with their own clients or offer it to new clients. It's officially certified by the International Coach Federation. You get CCU's units, more than 40. It's also accredited by SHRM, the Society of HR, and some other ones. And also one of the things that we are looking for, it's not only people to come and become certified in our business training. It's really people who wants to grow locally with Points of View, who wants to become official training provider in the local region. And together with them, it's that we can support you on the marketing level, create campaigns, provide you with the materials, bring projects together. There is a huge, huge business opportunity for our solution that we bring something very different. Not only left brain, but really right brain, creative, fun, deep, and different. So we are looking for people who are not only coming to learn the skills, which is okay, but really wants to take it to the next level business-wise. And we will guide you through step by step. You are not alone. So by the way, we have one program that starts in few weeks. Probably it's going to be sold out today, tomorrow. If you still have a calling to join this, then you have to let us know. But generally, it's already full, I think. and we are going to open up. So if you have any calling, I think Shani here for my team will share information in the WhatsApp, in the chat. And we have another one that we are opening in September. And again, in this program, it's online. We have participants coming from all around the world. We have a team of facilitators leading this program. I'm a part of it. And again, it's points of view style. So it's really not only practical and the tools, it's very deep. Yesterday, we had a session when they did the practicum on stage. Participants, for the first time, had to practice in front of everyone what they learned. Usually, it's a very confronting, not easy, and we knew that we are going to do it in a different way. And all the participants were blown away. How inspiring, how deep, how it was really a different kind of learning experience to bring yourself, first of all, in a different way, points of view style, but also all the environment, the support, the feedbacks, mind-blowing. So if you have a calling to join, let us know, and let's find a way to see if this can be something that we can really grow together. This is an example of the kits. It's a training kit that we provide to managers all around the world that are attending our training. This is exclusively only for our business trainers. It's called ClickIt. It's a different experience. We know that when we are working in organizations, it's great as a professional that you have the tool, but then you go home and the participant doesn't have anything that stays with them. So we said, let's create a toolkit that will be wow. First of all, something that everybody would like to use, and that will have the cards inside of it, and a journal, and stickers, and a pen, everything that you need, and something that can really help you resonate during the process and even afterwards, and to come back to it. And also as a professional who lead the process, when everybody have a kit, it opens up a new possibilities of working and doing different dynamics and activities in the room. And this is what we teach in our business trainer certification. So this is briefly what I wanted to share with you. Before we go, I would love to invite you, if you have any questions, first of all, that you want to ask, anything about points of view, about how to help your clients working with visuals and metaphors, about the academy, the business training, anything, please, we would love to hear you. So you can just unmute yourself and feel free to ask anything that you want. We would love to hear you. Thank you for those of you who are living in the chat. It's great. But if anybody wants to make a sound, that would be great as well.
Hi, this is Anand here.
Yes.
Just one question. So you talked about a team activity where we give them pictures and the collective storytelling, right? So like during my trainings, I have found certain people experiencing the fear of vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they don't want to tell things because they might be exposed, and they get all those sort of feelings. So even when we show them the pictures, they may get multiple thoughts or single thoughts, and they may really not come out with the exact reasoning, thinking that what others might think. Yeah. So how to handle such a situation?
First of all, it's a big question, and this is a big part of what we are teaching in our training certification when we are doing it with organizations. Just to give you simple, something that sometimes makes the whole difference, that everybody can share whatever they feel comfortable with. And this is a statement that we make in the beginning. And once we are coming with this statement, and again, this is without telling you the whole knowledge and skills of what to do as a facilitator, as a trainer, but just the basics. Sometimes the only thing that you need to do is to make them understand that you can only share whatever you feel comfortable with. You don't have to share anything. And when you just create for them the space where they can just be, sometimes at one point, most of the time, one person will be willing to expose a little bit further and to put their a little bit emotions or feelings in the room, and then they create an opportunity for the rest of the participants to do the same. So it's not about pushing people to do something they don't want. It's important to understand. It's really to knock on the door and giving them the opportunity in a very safe environment to speak up, to bring themselves. This is one. So I hope I answered your question. I saw some questions in the chat. Who is leading the programs, the Braces Trainer Certification? It's we have a team worldwide for Marek, our head of development and training, Rina and Yeliz from Turkey, from Israel, from Poland, Yaru from Argentina, myself. We are a group and team of facilitators, very experienced in the field of organizations who are leading it. Before we go, I just want to ask you a question where you can write in the chat. I want to wrap it up. If you have any other questions, practical, please let me know. I didn't read in the chat, but I want you to write in the chat one thing that you are taking with you from today's webinar. One thing. It can be an insight, a thought, something about the card, something I said, whatever it is, one word that represents what are you taking with you from today. Write it in the chat, and that will be your takeaway for today. If you want to say it out loud also, it's nice, but you don't have to. Your card of the day is clarity. Renee, present, great. Purpose, thank you. Priorities, Juan, thank you. Metaphor, great. To attend the workshop and learning. Natalia, we are waiting for you. Come join us. If you have a calling, explore it with our team and online. I hope it will be face-to-face as well. Join us. Uncertainty is not necessarily negative. It can mean nice surprise. Yes, Monica, thank you for this insight. Andrea, always explore what resonates with the participants. Thank you. Anand, insight giving required space to all the participants. Yes, exactly. From being to doing. This is a very good point because most of the time we are trying to move from the doing to the being, which is again one way, but also from being to the doing. I learned, by the way, when I'm moving from the being to the doing, sometimes it happens naturally. I don't have to do anything. When I'm in my being and I'm connected, I don't even have to take it to action, and I know exactly what I need to do, and I do it. Very important insight. Thank you. Looking for collaboration, improve students. Thank you. Disruption, patterns. Everyone, thank you. It's a pleasure to have the chance to spend with people from all around the world for 1 hour, to take a break. I'm wishing all of us amazing, amazing year, filled with love, with excitement, with passion, with lots of good surprises that will happen to us. Marek, Mazel Tov, I love you. Besos everyone. Salamat, shalom. Au revoir. Bayush.
Thank you. See you.
Bon anniversaire, Marek!
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Bayush, bye-bye. No.